recording. Perfect. I always love starting it with someone not paying attention or their mouth full of other things. That's just the best way to start a show. You gonna finish that off instead of bringing us in? Cool. Welcome to Inked Chattered. I'm gonna do this all by myself.
Welcome to Inked Chattered. It is I, Cruz, by myself. And then Novelle's over there.
We got Diego here.
Diego is now. That is Giraffe-Free.
No, this is Diego. Can you tell by the no face and the high-rised flannel? Wow! Novelle's great. She's the best.
Yeah, no, I
would never, ever replace her. Aw, Diego.
So sad.
We gotta pretend. The only way I want to get anything nice is if I pretend.
Well, keep going. This is great. This is great. It's not awkward or weird or.
Hey, Cruz.
Oh God.
We're gonna quit sleeping in the same bed and doing all those weird things we talk about normally.
Shut up! You're a faker.
No, this is so much better. We got Giraffe-Free on set today. I love Giraffe-Free. We'll take his house so you can see his beautiful face.
Ah!
I know you hate him and his beady eyes, but he's my favorite thing. Oh, I should have
Right
brought
now,
Junior
he
in
looks
here.
scared. I've never seen him look like he's scared until he's been in your lap. He looks scared right now.
In the camera, he looks like he's gonna fucking come across the table and murder you.
Look, don't blink if you need help. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Should have brought Junior in here. You could have held Junior. Yeah. Junior's not so scary. He's cute. I love him.
So, anyways, how was your weekend?
Well, ever since y'all have been gone, this has been it. I've been hanging out in the studio with this guy, so just
What's
imagine
under
how
the
creepy
flannel?
that is. It's under
You
there.
don't have anything strapped to that, do
Don't
you?
worry about what's going on.
Oh my
I
God.
ordered something from Pillow Talk the other day with Mischief, so. Oh, it was actually the same day as right before Dio left to go on up there to go meet them. I got a box in the mail. It was my delivery from Mischief Pillow Talk. So it's just
What
a
was it?
little box. I don't remember the name
What
of
were
it.
the contents?
Hot and Bothered was the name of the toy. It's just a sex toy.
Was it long?
It's a normal size with a little tutorial attachment thing on it. And I was like, really odd. I've never actually tried the silicone stuff before. I was like, I don't know, this is probably be weird and rubbery. They're super soft. I was mind blown at how like it feels. I don't care. I was doing that. It felt so good touching that thing. But this is not at all what I expected. I figured it would be rubbery and weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was so smooth and it just felt soft. Loved it. But then I get here to the studio and there's a big long box on the porch. I said, hell, did you get your order from Mischief too? It's a lot bigger than mine.
I've used a silicone too. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I won't say what it was, but
Was it the same as mine or?
did yours involve a cock ring?
No.
Then no.
Oh no. So far so good. I never had anything like that before, but it's nice. I did get that one because where she sells through, there was several other options and they all were fine. But my first one, try something a little different, but not quite too pricey. But they had one toy on there. It was like the something Lux yada yada. It was $1,000. And I told her, I said, that thing better come with a man. And I mean a man that shuts the fuck up, does the job, and then runs the errands for you. I was like, it doesn't have to be a, spousal material
Was it like
necessarily.
one of those like Sybian machines or?
It just looked like the regular one, but bedazzled. And I was like, oh, hell. That thing, as much as it
You
costs.
put jewels in there? What are you talking about?
And I had the girls, I was telling them about it. They said, that thing better run all night. I said, hell, it better run some errands when it's done. That's what it better do.
Damn.
I was like, damn. But I'm sure it's great. It's probably worth the money. But I didn't have $1,000 to spend on that. So,
I could get something real nice for $1,000. I could get like a life-size sex doll for
that's what I'm saying.
like for $1,000.
I could pay someone to pretend to like me a handful of times. Just a handful. A couple times.
Probably like 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times. Just a few.
Yeah, you have to pay them like $200 each at least.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. It's like a good 10 minutes of pretending you like me. $200, I think I can make it happen.
Well, I don't know. Most
And then you trick them
prostitutes-
into having sex. So
Most prostitutes run like 120 an hour, so
okay.
don't ask me how I know that. I just do.
Yeah, it's a serial killer kind of thing too.
What?
Hanging out with
Oh, hang out
prostitutes.
with them. Pay for an hour and I'm there for like 5 minutes.
hang out with them.
This is bullshit. Should have paid for 30 minutes.
Mhm.
But, you know, you gotta cuddle and cry and stuff like that, so.
I think that's what they would charge you extra if you're showing up there and you're crying on them.
No, you get the hour. You can do whatever you want in the hour, so.
Oh, they don't care what you're doing.
No,
They're there.
They just bring the next client in while you sit there and cry on the couch or whatever. Sometimes you just beat off again while you watch them. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it.
It sounds like you do.
I don't. So lonely.
So lonely.
Okay. So, what do you want to talk about first today? You want to get UFC out of the way since you only watched 2 of the fights?
Yeah, well, it was really hard because it was so early. I guess it was in Russia, yeah, for the main
Abu
dude.
Dhabi.
Okay, where it was. Because it was super early. It was on during the UT game. So I just didn't know what I wanted to watch the most to be sad about. Like, am I going to watch this and be sad, or do I want to watch this and be sad, or do I just want to be super sad watching both?
Yeah, the early prelims came on around 11 o'clock, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, the
10 o'clock?
the main started like third quarter of the UT game, and I was already just like, yeah, whatever the fuck's going on here. So I got, but then I also had a chatterbox in my ear who wouldn't go away. It's like, not this guy.
Oh.
No, not him.
Yeah, he doesn't
No.
talk at all.
Different
'Cause
guy.
he's-
Yeah, I would shut up. I'm trying to watch the game.
Oh, boy.
No, I was at our good spot, the Hooligans. I was there and had my phone pulled up for the fights and was watching the game with the other locals, who were all like it was a very first play. I mean, we didn't do anything. We just had the ball in our hand, and they're like, "Woo!" I was like, "Okay."
They snapped the ball!
We haven't even done anything yet. The game hasn't started. There's nothing to be excited or disappointed about yet. It's just started. It's fine. And then it ended up running to an old friend of mine, and she was there with a Bama fan. I was like, oh no. And she was over there having a hard time with them, trying to defend us. Like, you ain't got to. We suck. It is what it is. Like, you can't make it better. I said, but you gotta also remember, he's 50, 60 years old. Like, this is something that he's seen him raised around. But he also remembers when his team sucked. So, you gotta remember.
Which is always.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're talking about Bama.
Bama, yeah.
Okay.
So, now you're in his shoes. By the time you're his age, maybe you can remember when we sucked and we were good. If it ever happens again. Who knows? But, no, I did watch the last 2 fights. Actually, I watched the end of the third one, the third before the last, but I didn't actually pay attention to who that was. It kept cutting in and out on me. So then I watched Carnin. I can't pronounce his name right. Karimrod. I don't know.
So did you watch the Robert Whitaker fight?
Yeah, it was Whitaker.
And Jared Cannonier.
Ramrod.
Cam Ramrod,
Ramrod.
okay.
I watched them.
That was a good fight.
Mhm.
That was a really good fight. But you also watched Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, and
Word.
I
tried
don't.
to say it like fluent, like.
If
like,
you just
with
say
a
it real
good-
fast, you don't know.
I know. I started to say it flat. Stop recording. I'm done.
I'm done. I'm over it.
Nurmagomedov. I have to look at it. I try to say it fast. Like
Nurmagomedov.
it's
All
not
I say-
natural for me. I'm not John Anik. Okay?
I say Khabib Igagia. It's like, that's not his last name. I don't care what his last name is. You know who I'm talking about because I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name.
What did you think of the Khabib and Justin fight? I know you don't watch like a ton of UFC, but what's your take on it?
I really wanted to watch that one because I remember the first Gaethje fight that I watched where I was actually kind of getting into it a little bit more and understanding who the people were. It's about, it was actually back in middle school. I watched quite a bit. I liked watching Lyoto Machida, or
okay,
I used to like watching him quite a bit. And I quit watching it when I went to college and came back. But I was excited to watch Gaethje because the last fight that we watched, your friend's big old party he used to have all the time with the fights. Oh, so much fun. I mean, that too in itself was just having fun. But I liked that fight. It was really interesting. And I just ended up liking him and his style. So I was kind of rooting for him from the get-go. Of course, I always expect for those bigger fights, I want something dramatic to happen. So that's my
Didn't
problem,
happen.
though.
Yeah, it
That's
didn't
just not how
happen this
UFCs
time.
work. It's not always going to be you get kicked in the nose or something weird.
Yeah.
You lose a toe or something. Like, it's just sometimes there's just a fight. It's a brawl. It's wrestling. And like for you, the wrestling's fun because you can actually see the technique in it, and it's like, oh, that's really cool. And for me, it's like, get off the ground, quit making love. Like,
I get so fucking antsy.
If I want to be bored with sex, I just go do it myself. Like, do something else. And then, but for other people, yeah, it's like, oh my God, you see that cool this that he did? Like, nah, I'm just flopping around like fish for me because I don't get the technique of that part. So
I get antsy as shit. I'm like,
yeah, because you're like, oh, you should.
I start moving
wiggle around like a worm.
Just do this. Come on, do it.
You can get out of that if just this. So yeah, it was fine. Like I said, I'm always expecting something crazy to happen, and it's just not gonna always happen, of course.
I'll say my take on it, and we'll move on. Justin Gaethje, I'm not sure what his game plan was going into it, but Gaethje's style of fighting, whenever he faces anybody, the dude he gets close range and he just sits there and bangs with them. Like, he puts his hands up high and he waits for counters. You know, he'll sit like this, and guys will just wail on him, and he'll wait for his opening. You know, that's how Gaethje fights. Gaethje did not do that against Khabib, which surprised me because I thought Gaethje was whipping the fuck out of his legs.
Yeah.
You know, but it surprised me that Gaethje didn't close distance, because for me, it's a lot harder to take somebody down, you know, at a closer distance. Maybe not for Khabib, I'm sure he could probably just, you know, look at you from across the room and take you down somehow. But for me, whenever someone's closer range, it's harder for me to, like, see an opening. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see what their legs are doing, you don't see what their arms are doing. Not really, you know. So it surprised me that Gaethje didn't close distance and just start striking with him. He fought at a longer range, and I think that was his downfall, to be honest.
What, other than wrestling, and I think you did some boxing at one point, is that the only kind of fighting that you've done, like, I guess, style-wise?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wrestling and boxing? Yeah. I did, and
a little bit of Muay Thai.
Muay Thai? Yeah. Never under on a professional sense. I've never did anything like that. It's always just been us roughing around the backyard or something. And I had some friends that were into boxing, and I was always with the boys. That's just how I was growing up, and that's why I got, you know, my front teeth are all fake, and I got so many scars and shit because I didn't want to sit at home with the girls. I wanted to go, you know, out the woods or go kickboxing in the front yard, and they didn't ever give me the benefit of the doubt being a girl. It was like, you know, you want to play, we're going to play, and they, well, I mean, just as bad as they do each other. And in football, we used to play football all the time, and I actually would get picked quite often. I'm not very good at throwing or anything like that, but at the time, I was a little speed demon. So I get it and take off with the ball. So, but only fighting that I did, like I said, again, not on a professional sense, but I had a teacher, per se, who, we did sword play. And we had his two fake swords that were like fiberglass, I'm assuming, and like some kind of really heavy plastic that we would practice with.
PVC, usually.
Well, it wasn't like LARPing. Like, these were designed, like, these were like real fake swords. Like, that makes sense. Yeah. And he was trained in ways of fencing and another, like, I can't remember the name of the other style he did, but these swords weren't made for the fencing style, so we did other things that he taught me the names of the moves, and I have no idea what they are. But that's where I kind of learned a lot as far as, like, what you said with the distance. Especially with swords, like, that is the thing. You got to watch their feet, because your hips and your feet is going to direct where your arms are going to go and all that good stuff. So I was a cheater, though. I ain't going to lie about it. So it is what it is. I got to win. So I would do the sexy tactic and then, you know, smack them upside the head or something.
You flash your tits?
Oh, you know, do something like that. Or be like, oh, no, my hand. And then, oh, you okay? Yeah, bitch. Slice your dick off. Like, I was trickster. Well, especially because, you know, he cared for me, so he would fall for it. But then after a while, he was like, all right, I love you, but he's like, I love you, but I'm not falling for your shit anymore. It's like, okay, fine. But he almost always would still fall for it. It's fine. And then we did hand-to-hand combat when I was in the prison. We had to learn how to do stuff like that, but it was so silly. Like, the stuff that they taught us, I was like, no, I will straight murder you. I'm not going to play these little escape tactics or, you know, whatever. I'm going to do whatever it is to live. I know it may not be proper. It may not be what will keep my job at the end of the day, but I'm going to walk out there alive. Or I'll be dead, because you're going to kill me. You're not just going to do whatever you want with me, so.
My grandfather taught me some of those, because he was in the Marines. He taught me a lot of those whenever I was younger. And I still know them to this day, you know, like breaking the wrists and all that stuff, and what to do when someone grabs you from behind. And I started thinking, it's like, man, these just really wouldn't be, unless you're like about to get raped, you know, like these just really wouldn't be like, you know, like if you're in a street fight, none of these would help you whatsoever. You know,
no one's gonna obey by the rules. There's no rules in the street.
Yeah, you're more likely to be. I've been in a lot more street fights than being close to rape. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the stuff they taught us in the prison again, like it's not street rules or like common courtesy rules. There, it's a prison, and some of the stuff they had taught with us, like if you were on the ground, how to defend yourself, and you're supposed to like kick at their like midsection or whatever, do this and that. I'm like, nah, I want to kick them right in the dick.
Grab their dick and twist.
They said, you're going to lose your job. I was like, fine. They're not going to rape me, though. They're not going to kill me, though. I will do whatever it takes, and it's not going to be... Okay, if they're just being like, whatever, I can do your simple little disarm tactics or, de-escalate the situation. But otherwise, I'm going to do whatever it takes to stop this person, whether it means I keep my job or not. And then on the outskirts of where if you actually had a gun, I'm like, so you gotta shoot for this and do like this? Like, no, I'm gonna blow his head right off his shoulders, like my daddy taught me. Like, again,
break yourself.
It's about me at the end of the day, not the reputation of the state or however you want to put it. Like, no, you're dead.
They gotta do that though for liabilities. Really, they're like, just if you want to fucking crack him over the head, if you walkie-talkie, I don't really care. Whoops. Back in line, inmate.
I never ever went on my way to be disrespectful or crude to one unless they gave me reason to. But 9 times out of 10, it was more vocal than it was anything else. And just being wittier than them was always the top notch of that. Because they thought they were going to hurt your feelings or get under your skin. And you just turn around and pop off with something sassy or just like shut their shit down. Everybody's like, oh. And they're embarrassed. Like that's enough for them to learn their lesson.
I know you worked with men, right?
Yeah, maximum security.
Yeah. What was your go-to first thing you would say, first thing out of your mouth whenever you'd walk up to a cell and there'd be an inmate just fucking with his dick just fucking working it?
It never was a go-to. It was just kind of inmate by inmate basis, I guess, on what I see or what have you. But I remember one particularly, he had told me that I ain't never seen anything like that before. I couldn't get... I'm like, dude, I'm a free woman. I can get on the internet any time of day. Like, you have nothing in your pants that I can't see for free. One, because I'm a woman. Even if I'm not attractive, all women have to do is be like, dick, and men are like, okay. Yeah. I was like, you're not nothing special. And then
my pants already off. Where are you?
Yeah. But also because I have internet. I'm not locked up in here like you are. I go home if I want to see it. I can have at it. Like, you're not showing me anything special. And I did let him know that the whole because you're black makes it whatever, but that's not true apparently. And because like this, you're proving right now. This is proving that statement wrong. Because it wasn't. There was nothing. I think everybody, regardless of what orientation or whatever you are, like the size is going to be what the size is. Mm-hmm. Know which one way or the other is going to have it bigger or whatever. I know sometimes people fit the stereotype, but it's not an all over guarantee all the time. It's just not. Because his was by no means the largest I'd ever seen or have. Like, put that shit up. And I told him the next time I was going to slap it, I was going to smash it in that pie fly because he had it hanging out of it. He said I wouldn't be fast enough. So that's fine. I'll pepper spray it. He didn't like that one at all. And I was like, I don't care if I have to come in there and have to grab your ass. He's like a fucking stepchild and just grab and squirt you with it. I don't care. He's like, you can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. I know I can't like legally do it, but I will do it.
You can't be jerking your dick off right now, okay, buddy? Yeah. Your argument is invalid.
There's lots of things we both can't be doing, but I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Dick, I can't pepper spray your dick.
At that time, I was 18 years old when I started working at this prison. So by the time I was working with, at that point, it was 21 to 24-year-olds. I'm 21 myself. Now, I wasn't too bad of a looking broad at that time. And I had, the uniforms weren't flattering by no means, but I mean, you could still tell I'm a woman under there. Like, they're not going to listen to me. They're my age. And they're wild ruffians from all over the place. They're not going to give a shit what I have to say. And I was like, at the same time, I didn't have that mentality of like, I need a job and I got to be the best at my job and, career-based. You don't have that mentality when you're that age. So I was like, I don't care. I'll lose my job. Or whooping your ass or spraying you or whatever it might be or saying something wrong to him. Because I did get in trouble one time about what I said to the person. I was like, well, if he wasn't behaving like what I called him, I wouldn't have called him that, now would I? And so I got in trouble on that one time or two. I learned a little bit better now to mind my P's and Q's and to have a better relationship with my... Well, nowadays, though, my jobs have been like customer service and like being around the public. Then... at that age, working with inmates, I'm like, I'm not here to please them. I'm not providing them with a service. I'm here to make sure they don't kill me or someone else. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I wasn't there in my mindset to my first job outside of school. Sense, so I didn't have that mindset of treat them with respect and I did, like I said, I didn't go on my way to be disrespectful to them. As long as you don't bother me, I'm not gonna bother you. But I also wasn't just gonna be like, I'm like, no.
Pepper spray your dick.
I'm gonna pepper spray your dick. Keep it in your pants. Trust me. I can just get it. If I wanted it, I could get it, and you're just not the one I want it from. Sorry. And I'm not gonna have my butt stuck up in a pie flap either, which is what a lot of the women's issues were, getting caught doing stuff like that. I'm like, no. That's not comfortable for me. I guarantee I'm not going to get off in that position. Like, why would I waste my time and lose my job and be put on a sex offenders list just because of that? No. Mm-mm.
That's rough.
You
gotta be lonely.
Very lonely. And some of the women, that's how they get them, though. That's how you know. And it's not to be crude or anything, but you can just tell by looking. They're sad. They're
insecure,
lonely.
Yeah.
And I've had my moments of weakness, but not that low. Like I said, I just go order me a toy. Never that sad.
Might as well.
Oh shit!
Ain't getting anywhere else. I'm always here.
I might masturbate in the locker room or something, but I'm not gonna go out here and do that.
Okay.
Hey, you can't say you never done it at work.
At work? Oh no, I do it all the time. I thought you meant like at the gym.
Oh, no. Well, I was trying to think. I didn't know a place at the prison.
Like the locker room.
Well, because I don't know another place in the prison that would make sense for you if I said it. I was like, well, he'll understand the idea of being alone in an area at work that you
sometimes you get horny at work.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, this is what happens. See a hot-looking guy, you just gotta crank one out.
Or sometimes you just get angry, and that's a good time to go do it.
Yeah, that's a good stress reliever.
It's a good stress reliever.
Go in the disgusting work bathroom and sprawl out.
Never in the bathroom.
Look at all the
which is
odd.
On
the wall.
You think that'd be the most commonplace, but no, not the bathroom.
You just do it in the locker room?
Just do it wherever, hell.
Where someone walks
desk.
in and
okay. If you're there real early, you just do it at the desk. It's fine.
Done that before, huh? Where at?
You only know me for a few jobs, and my last two have been at home, so that doesn't really count.
Hey, not a bad idea though. I need to work from home.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. Well, the lunch break.
Crank break.
That's a great stress reliever in the middle of all that customer service. Like, yeah, fuck this. Get away from a screen for a little bit. Just have your little fun.
Why do you have an industrial-sized lube on your desk? Crank breaks.
Crank breaks. My chair needed it.
Allowed 3 a day, okay?
my chair needed some WD-40. This is actually better than that. Is what I've learned. Put some lube on it.
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah.
Same thing.
Just don't use WD-40 on your dick. Not a good idea. I don't know from experience.
I want to try that. I meant to bring this up last week or the week before that when it was actually relevant and everyone didn't know about it, but now everybody and their mother does because we just skipped talking about it. Miley Cyrus and her ventures to cover Metallica. Have you seen, read, heard, and done all that?
I'm not exactly, I don't know. I can't sit here and say I'm mad at it. Because it almost seems like Miley's just finally figuring out who she is, maybe. Or she's being like Machine Gun Kelly and just jumping genres. Which seems to be maybe a trend-setting thing or something. I don't know. I find it weird. I don't find it weird that Miley's doing it. Because Miley, once she turned 18, 21, whatever, she went all out.
I think that's what the biggest problem people are having with it is because of how dramatic she went from Disney to straight porn star to back to country to who knows what she's doing.
Look, I ain't mad at it.
And I think it kind of makes you feel like she's not consistent or she doesn't have any kind of heart in anything. She's just doing whatever kind of willy-nilly comes to her. But I kind of feel like maybe she had her sporadic, here's this age, I'm going to act a fool, and then she kind of came back down to her roots and like, hey, I'm actually going to do what I want to do, not what someone's telling me to do, not something that I'm acting out doing. I want to do something that I feel good about. And like I said, I'm not one to say oh God, fuck that blah, blah, blah. I don't like it because I'm talentless. I can't sing worth a shit. I write some good music, but I can't perform it. So I feel like I did not like, and I will say I did not like what I heard when she did Nothing Else Matters. I think she was doing too hard to mimic the sound instead of making it her own. And I believe if she wants to continue with it, go for it. I think it actually is something she'd be good at if she makes it her own while still honoring the original. But don't try to just to mimic the sounds because you can't. Like it's not doable. It wouldn't sound right. And I think if she starts doing like some originals and stuff too in that genre, it wouldn't be bad. Because I think her voice is not bad for that.
No, it's.
I love hearing some of her.
She's actually got
covers.
a really nice, good, raspy voice.
Yeah, when she did the Jolene with her godmother, beautiful. I love that. And then some other songs that she's done that I like the sound when she's doing something she wants to do. I feel like now, I don't know that for sure. I never talked to her, but I feel like if it's something she's really into and her heart's into it, it'll be good. And you just got to get past the idea of who she was, where she came from, and people thinking, oh, well, you can't touch Metallica. Well, you can. Doesn't mean you should, but you
that's
can.
what I was about to say. Just because she came from where she came from doesn't mean you should dog on her for wanting to switch up a genre. You should be accepting in that because a name like that going into the rock genre is only going to help the rock genre. It's only going to grow and make it more popular, which is what you want.
Whether she ends up doing it well or not, it's still going to bring attention to the world, and we need that because as heavy and as important as it is to like rock fans already, we think it's huge and amazing and beautiful. It is, but still, when it comes to numbers and side by sides of other genres, rock doesn't even touch it, which is so sad because there's so much talent and heart and passion in the rock world that we all know and feel, and it seems huge to us, but compared to other things, it's really not because people are simple and they like simpler things. So regardless of how she does it, it's going to be good for rock music, period, because it's going to bring attention to that side of things.
It's just like Machine Gun Kelly. I don't exactly love the stuff he's doing just because it's just... I don't know if it's more the fact that I know... Like, I listened to Machine Gun Kelly, you know, whenever he was in the rap genre. And now he's doing this whole, like, pop-punky thing. It's kind of like pop-punk. It's like a Blink-182
I actually shared that one he did with Halsey. Forget Me Too, I think is what it was called. And I actually really liked it, but I don't know... I couldn't tell you a single one of his songs from his original stuff. I'm sure if I heard it, I'd be, oh yeah, I know who that is, but...
You never heard, like, Wild Boy?
I think I do. Like, you say that, yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't know him or follow him well enough to know what he normally sounds like to be like, oh, who's this guy? Or be annoyed by him, really. But I always like Halsey's stuff. Like, she has quite a few songs that, again, it's not my favorite genre of music, but there's some of her songs that speak to me and I like them. And that one, I liked the video. I thought it was cool. He kind of made me think like Cloud Strife with his big blonde hair and his bike. I was like, oh, hell yeah, nerding out, you know. But then, I don't know, I like the words. I thought they were nice. Like, I'm a lyrical person anyway, so it could be just anybody saying anything. If I like the words, I'm not going to dog it. So
I like that one better than My Bloody Valentine.
I don't know that one.
My Bloody Valentine is playing like crazy on the radio right now.
Oh, okay.
And
do you have
just
regular radio or do you have satellite radio?
I listen to both.
You listen to both? Okay.
I usually listen to regular radio because I like to listen to Free Beer and Hot Wings in the morning. That's usually the only time I'll listen to it. Otherwise, I'll listen to satellite or just listen to my downloaded stuff. But
I need to get in a better routine of listening to more regular radio or satellite radio instead of just listening to what's on my phone. Because all I do is shuffle the same, you know, this is lots of songs, but I shuffle the same ones over and over and over again, never hear anything new because I know what I like.
I'm just as guilty, yeah.
And especially when I get in a certain mood, there's some songs it's like, I know exactly which playlist I'm playing so I can make myself even more sad. This is a great idea.
That was a sad song, made me feel sad. I was already sad. I'm more sad.
I'm not sure where that logic comes from, but yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. And November... Oh, we were talking about Metallica. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, and that's my bad. But I believe it's November 11th. They're doing a live concert that you can get tickets for through their merch site and everything.
What's that, MGK?
At HQ is where they're doing it.
MGK?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
I don't have it pulled up. I don't know.
Okay. MGK and Housley?
No, Metallica.
Oh.
I was talking about her cover Metallica. Metallica's doing a concert at HQ in November. I think it's November 11th. Yeah. They're doing the live thingy, which is good. It's fun. And all the things. And then today. It's really not today. It's like sometime this week. Motionless in White on their merchandise page, you can visit it too. They have because this is their 10-year anniversary for Creatures. They're doing a whole thing for it, merchandise, and they got some really cute shorts with these little zombie hands on the butt, and they're doing a complete version, I guess, concert of that album. It's gonna be like front to back, where they perform all the songs. They've never actually performed all the songs before from that album in its entirety, so they're going to be doing that. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the album where they did their version of Dragula. Because it's all spoopy, kind of Halloween-y, so I think that's when they did that. I'm like, that'd be really fun. I love Chris Motionless, and we totally blew missing that. Like we were doing birthdays on the Asylum Morning Show that we do Monday through Fridays, 5 to 6, when we're all here doing a thing. We missed his birthday. It was Motionless's birthday, like last Tuesday. I was like, I missed telling him happy birthday. I know he watches the show, and he's all like, why didn't they tell me happy birthday?
Yeah, he totally watches
I know he watches us. He's going to be hosting a Halloween costume contest on Sirius Radio.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm going to totally watch that. And probably, I'm not sure that's good or not, because it's not.
Why don't you enter to the contest?
I don't know how that works. I just seen where he was hosting it. I didn't see how they're participating in it. But I might. I don't really have any great costumes, but just get out there just to talk to him. Like, maybe he'll talk to me. I don't know how it works. If it's just pictures or if it's
probably just pictures.
Oh, see, no, I want to talk to him.
That's creepy.
It's not creepy.
It's a little creepy.
You don't want to talk to Chris? I talk to Chris.
No, not really. I mean,
who do you want to talk to?
I don't know.
You want to talk to this guy?
No.
He'll talk to you. Hi, Chris.
I don't like him. I don't know who I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't like talking to people. I barely like talking to you.
Well, fuck you do! Is that a famous person that you'd love to sit down with or chit chat with? Or a
as far as like
artist or
go?
something? Yeah.
And it's hard for me to do that. Dave Grohl, probably. I'd
I
like
think
to
that
sit
would be a
down
good
and have a conversation with him. There's not a lot of artists that you really get like an idea what their personality is. And you get what their stage presence is, and what their personality is on stage, but you don't necessarily know their actual personality unless you watch like tons of like interviews and like, you know, like Day in the Lives or whatever. Dave Grohl seems like a pretty cool, relaxed guy. Seems like he'd be pretty easy to get along with. So, Dave Grohl.
I think he would be a lot of fun to hang out with, have a conversation with, because outside of, I mean, again, it's still all media, so you don't really know for sure. Exactly. But when you see him on the media, outside of, you know, interviews or doing concerts and things, he seems like so much fun and energetic and just like a sweet guy. And, you know, watching some of his just regular life things where he participates in doing different stuff, like, it seems like he's just like a good guy. He might be a lot of fun. But like I said, you can never really know until you meet someone, but I think he'd be nice.
If it was like Maynard from Tool, no.
I honestly feel like he'd be kind of pretentious, to be honest, but that's just that's how I get him.
But that's how you perceive him, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
So I sat down and had some of his wine with him.
From seeing everything you've seen him in, it would be like he's pretentious, or maybe like once you turn your back, he might turn you into a lampshade. You never know. You never know.
I was like, I'm sure people have those kind of different perceptions of us too, though. Like, not even being famous, just being like me meeting one of your.
We're famous.
Oh, we're so famous. Like me meeting one of your friends for the first time, like in passing, not really sitting down when we were talking to them. Well, hey, this is so and so. Well, she looked like a bitch, and then it ends up being like, oh, she's actually really nice, and I enjoy her. We have a lot in common, but you just don't know until you actually spend time with that person. And I've had several of those, and I'm not very, very often though. Quite often, I'm very good judge of character. I get that like gut, like, ooh, not gonna like that, or that's a shitty person. 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty accurate on it. But there is the one every now and then where I'm like, okay, I didn't have to immediately assume she was gonna be a cocksucker, but. I actually, one of my good friends, the day I met her, I was like, this bitch. I don't like her. I don't like nothing about her. She's weird. She talks funny.
Who is it?
You never met her. She was from the prison.
I was hoping it was somebody I knew.
No. And neither one of us, they both met each other, but I think because we were both such strong personalities, it was just like, I don't like her. I'll fucking kill her. And then we went out drinking, like, the next night after I met her. And it was like, oh, we're the same person actually, but that's kind of where you get that clash of personalities. Like it's either gonna mesh together well because you're so similar, or it's just gonna be constant battering. So it ended up being the latter, or the latter for us. So that worked out, but not at first. And when she was from up north too, so and she didn't like the way I said things. I didn't like the way she said things. But then it became more of a cute banter of making fun of each other's words and twisting them. But at first it was like she was condescending, and then like like
she said tampon, you said tampon, and
well, she says goals, boys and goals.
Oh, so she had a speech impediment.
Goals, no. And like I say, put that up. She's like, you don't put it up, you put it away. I was like, oh, bitch. I ain't trying to put it up. And she's like, if you're gonna put it up, that means you're sticking it high somewhere.
Well, she's not wrong.
And I'm gonna punch you in her throat.
She is not wrong.
I'm trying to think of some other. New Jersey, so like goals, like that's how she say goals. It sounds like goals a little bit. You never met some New Jersey people?
I've met someone with a speech impediment who said girls like that.
No.
Like goals.
Goals. It's like goals, girls. I can't think of any other word that she would do, but that's the one that always stuck out to me. And then we had a girl in our school growing up. She was New York, and she kind of did that too. Goals, goil. Like,
there's a girl from New York in Spencer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't like her either.
Talk about culture shock.
I think that was like, well, yeah, and then like they come down there to try to bang the teachers. It's like, I know that's my.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, no.
No?
No. It's like we're all still wearing our silly haircuts and
banging teachers.
weird clothes, and she comes down looking like a scuzzy in like the 6th grade and banging the teachers, and then
right on.
no, not right on.
Oh.
And I remember she was giving us shit about how weird we talk. I was like, you do realize you're the one who talks weird in this entire school. Like, everyone else sounds the same. You're the weirdo. And
you say use guys?
Use guys.
Use guys talk weird.
But I can't remember one day she could pop up with something.
Look at that teacher over there. He's got a fucking fat cock.
She was trying to start some kind of issue. I told her, I said, you know what, you're no bigger than the majority of the rat population from that fucking garbage town you came from, so you might want to sit down and shut the fuck up. I used to be really angry and aggressive. You were actually talking about the other day on the Facebook about how long spent in in-school suspension, like what's the longest, and y'all got really shocked at one of our friends that had been in and out of it.
I know.
Yeah.
Stabbing someone with a pencil?
Yeah, but she wasn't doing it out of like violence.
She said she pointed it, but I'm
yeah, she was just giving her the what for, and then she fell on it. Which, I mean, that's kind of like the whole right. I accidentally had sex with that person thing.
It, okay, I may have.
She accidentally fell on my dick. It's like she accidentally stabbed herself in the eye.
Yeah, same thing.
I think the longest I went, and I really can't remember how long it was. I want to say it was just 5 days, which would be a week, school terms. But I really, really just don't remember. It is for smacking a girl around. A girl said, "Look, now I'm doing for smacking a girl,
smacking the girls around,
for smacking a girl around, for bothering my friend."
In that, whenever I spent 5 days at ISS, before that I had to spend 5 days out of school. So I just
they get you out all the way.
I did 5 days out of school suspension, and then when I came back, back to school. No. I had to sit in ISS. I fucking hated ISS.
I never understood the idea of sending your ass home as punishment. It's like, this is what I wanted.
You know what I
didn't want to be here.
The day I got kicked out for fighting, the day I got kicked out, I went to GameStop, got a new game, and I played it the entire time.
Thanks for the free time?
Yeah, I was like, I'm playing the new game Warriors on Xbox, so...
I say that, but it would have been the opposite for me. I probably would have been just like, so distraught if I'd have been took out of school, because I never missed school. Like, growing up, I really enjoyed school. I don't know if it was because I was good at it, and I was just like,
all your friends were there too.
Yeah, all my friends were there, and we lived in the middle of damn nowhere, so for us it wasn't like, okay, cool, we can stay home and
do all these things. Got to see all of each other,
For us, staying home was like, you're just a load in the middle of the damn woods for me. I lived in nowhere. So yeah, I would have hated not being able to go to school, but then in-school suspension, again, it wasn't really detrimental to me, because it's like, here's your homework. It's like, why don't they just do this all the time? Like, give me the papers, here's the thing, do it, because I can still just get as much done and learn just as much and be just as efficient doing it right here by myself real quick that I do sitting in the room. I have a really weird learning process in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pay attention ever to anything, but I always passed, except for math. I don't math good, but, and also didn't care for the math, but everything else. I just could listen while I'm drawing and stuff and not take notes and still pass somehow. I didn't hate it, but I also was like, could be doing something else, I guess. But no, being at home would have sucked. I wouldn't have liked that at all.
The only thing that was good about ISS in our school was during lunch, the regular teacher, who was a bitch, who would, be with us the entire day, she would leave for lunch, and one of the coaches would come in and sit in for it, and he'd let us dip, and give us dip sometimes if we asked for it. He was cool.
He was cool, yeah. Was getting us addicted young.
I mean, I was already addicted, so it didn't matter.
Well, I didn't do the.
You ever chew tobacco or nothing?
Fuck, no. Kilo from Carried When Inspired, she used to dip, her and my cousin Brittany. I was like, how? It's so gross. I can't handle it. I don't even like the smell of smoke, like cigarette smoke, but I got my vape and I like my hookahs, but I just don't do the cigarettes, And then the tobacco, it just looks so gross. It smells weird. I grew up, my uncle had always did Wolf, and he would make us little box cars out of the wheel or the cans or whatever. Oh yeah, way old school with that, with the wolf, the timber wolf, I think. Or it was just called wolf. I don't really remember.
It's not old school. It's just fucking cheap.
It's just been it's old school to me because growing up, that's all I remember seeing them have. But they
still sell.
They build pallets and they ran the tractors and all that stuff. Like they were just old country men, So
that's one thing about whenever I quit smoking. Whenever I smell cigarette smoke now, it grosses me out until I get drunk enough and I start smoking myself.
Then it grosses me out because everyone around me smoking.
Yeah, sorry, but your luck. But when it comes to dip, something about it, that's probably the most addictive thing I've ever been addicted to. Whenever a can is in front of me and I look at it and smell it, something about it makes my mouth salivate.
Well, it's because it's what it does when it's in there too.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
This is the only thing for me that
Beers?
I can and I have, especially when I'm really strict through the week, say no to alcohol. But certain beers, craft beers, and when I'm doing certain activities. It's you just gotta have beer in your hand. I can't be on the lake without a beer. I can't watch football without a beer. UFC. And like I said, I can. If I wanted to, out of sheer stubbornness, I will. That's why That's why I don't have an addictive personality. I'm too fucking stubborn to let something beat me. But because I don't care to say no, I'm I'm gonna have beer with my football.
For the fights this weekend.
Yeah.
Prelims started super early.
Oh, dude.
I always started drinking. I started drinking 9 o'clock, prepping for the fight.
I had that. It wasn't even for an excuse of anything was on. Can't remember what Diego needed, but he came over early and I had made breakfast tacos and was drinking a beer. And he's like, it's 8:30, not even 9 o'clock yet. Why are you drinking a beer? I was like, well, tacos. We're having tacos. We gotta have a beer with a taco. He's like, I guess.
Yeah, you guess.
And then I made him a mixed drink. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. At least I'm just having a craft beer for breakfast. You're having. I think I made him an Amaretto sour is what it was. It wasn't nothing crazy, but still, I was like,
what an alcoholic.
You're having an Amaretto sour for breakfast, so.
Send him to the Patreon, I gotta pee.
I'm gonna have Giraffe send them.
Go ahead, do it.
Help me! I need money to escape these crazy people. If you want to donate so we can get, maybe some live guests on the show, we have to pay them to come hang out with us. No one wants to spend time with us on their own. We also have these different tiers on the Patreon for you, the patreon.com/DesignProductions. You can order from those different tiers there and donate whatever custom pledge you like to if you don't want to use those. Any little bit helps, but all of them come with some kind of form of reward. You'll get a generic decal sticker, which of course, as always, we don't have any sitting around. Those will come regardless of what you do. And the different tiers, we're going to come with different levels of rewards based on how much money you want to spend. You can get merch discounts. We have behind the scenes footage that you can work with. We're going to be getting some different shows too that will be exclusive only to the Patreon. So you'll want to check that out for those exclusivities. Again, patreon.com/DesignProductions. Also, check out everything that we do, not just this show, but we have Brews with the Crew, and we have bazillions of other shows that you might be into between all Hellfire's talented group. We got paranormal activity shows, we have supernatural, weed culture, beer reviews, name it, we got it. Again, Hellfire Radio or on the Hellfire Radio Facebook page. It's all on there. Click the link, follow. If you're not a Facebook fan, we do have Instagram, and we got the Twitters and Twitch, YouTube. We're on all the platforms. Go like them, follow them, subscribe to them. Guarantee you'll find something you like. Probably something better than this. I'm sure this is great entertainment.
I really really build us up there, Novella.
I mean, it'd be better if someone else was here, but y'all are stuck with me for now, so.
I'm here?
Until we can pay for someone else better to hang out with. Well, you're right now, but you were gone, so that, good minute, just wasting everybody's time.
Was it a nightmare?
Because they had nowhere else to look. They could just stare at your empty seat, or they had to look at me, and they're like, ooh.
Oh, she's making eye contact again. So what's next?
I was actually going to say something else about, it was the dipping tobacco. My friend, he had never tried it before, but of course he's a little dighead, so he was like, I'm going to get me some of that, just to prove a point that he could, I guess. And he put a big old dollop in there, huge, first time. And you know that shit, it's not...
No.
It knocks your ass way loose. And I think he swallowed some of it, and he was sicker than shit.
Yeah, my first time was too.
Don't do that. I'm not ever going to do it, but I would have known if I was going to not to do that.
First time I ever did it, it was Longhorn Straight, I think it was.
Ooh.
And I put it right here in the front, right there. And I was I kept going like this, squeeze juice out of it. And I kept getting little pieces on my tongue, and I just swallow them. I was like...
It made me gag just thinking about it.
I was like, it's no big deal. You want to know what I had for dinner that night? Beans and fucking cornbread. And I fucking threw all of it up in my friend's tub.
Sounds so gross.
All of it. I ate a lot of it, too.
My ex, when I got with him, he was smoking all the time. And I don't like smoking. And so, you know what? You need to quit doing this. One, because... you smell, taste weird. Two, I don't deal with people smoking around me because I'm not going to get your secondhand lung mess. So you need to find an alternative. I like smoking hookah. I don't mind those vapes. I know they're going to kill you too, but, whatever. Let's go get those. So he started doing the vape. But then in between not having juice or a charged battery, he'd still smoke his cigarettes. And at one point in time, when we were working for some friends of mine, he had the vape when they were in the truck, but then they smoked when they were on the job. But then if there was somewhere where they weren't allowed to have either, he was dipping. I was like, you're not quitting at this point, Dave, because you're not getting a vape with a low enough nicotine to start weaning yourself off of it. But even when you're not, you're smoking cigarettes. And then when you're not doing that, you're dipping. I was like, you might as well just pick one, stick with it, not do all three. It's disgusting. It's like you taste bad. Your lungs are going to go away. You're not going to have a jaw. I can't handle it.
That's what whenever I had kicked smoking, and then I was only dipping.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to quit dipping and picked up vaping. Well, the problem with that is I would go out to the bar, and you know how I am when I go out to the bar,
Mm-hmm.
I would get a pack of cigarettes, and I would have a vape, and I'd also have my dip. So I'd have a dip in pretty much the entire night, because I always had a dip in, and it was like a regular thing for me to have a dip in and smoke at the same time. So I would have a dip in, and I would smoke cigarettes, and in between smoking cigarettes, I'd be vaping. So it was just like a constant feeding of nicotine, 24. I don't even know how I quit doing that, to be honest, because it was a lot of nicotine.
Icky.
A lot.
Because I'm glad I've never had an addictive personality to that kind of extent. Because I did used to smoke cigarettes when I go out drinking, just because it was around me. I liked crushing little things. I always either did the crushy ones or the Turkish blend Camels. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why or how that became my thing, but it was. But before that, it was always just cigarillos. I loved getting the fruity different little cigarillos. And that's when I ended up discovering, I love hookah. Because it's just sugary smoke, and I like playing with the smoke. I just like the sweet taste, and I like to play with smoke. I'm not addicted to the nicotine or anything like that, especially when I'm drinking and smoking. I get so damn lightheaded anyway. I'm just like, ah! Oh shit. Yeah. So I just like to play with the smoke, and because I am playing with it so much, that's how I get lightheaded so fast, because it's just hit, and I'm like, oh god. But I'm just a child and want to play with smoke, so I think it's my inner dragon. It's the closest I'm going to get to breathing fire, so it's going to make me smoke.
I think for
loud.
me, it's more just doing something with my hands.
Yeah.
And then also the smoke, feeling it going into my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an addictive thing. Whenever you're drinking, the vape just isn't enough. It's not harsh enough. You don't really feel it. So that's why you start smoking cigarettes, so you can feel your lungs burning inside you. And
that's why I feel like I've never done it right. because I've never felt that in my chest. The only thing I ever feel in my chest when it comes to smoke is the next day after being around people who smoke, is it kills me. Like, I feel like I've done something wrong and my chest hurts so bad, and it's like, I didn't even smoke. I'm just around all these people who are.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that feeling. So if that's what they feel like all the time, then I don't ever want to feel like that.
I've tried quitting vaping a couple of times as well, but haven't been so successful with this. Like, I'll quit this and then, you know, go out to the bar and I'll get a pack of cigarettes and what have you, you know. But I haven't. I think the last one I smoked one like a couple weeks ago. You know, besides like a cigar, to me that doesn't really count because you didn't even inhale that. But
no, and not you're not sitting there smoking them back to back to back. It's not a nicotine or a habitual thing as much as it is. The only time I ever have them is whenever I bring y'all some back and I want to taste them, or we go to a particular brewery that have them. We'll have them there, but I don't ever go out of my way for them. It's just when I'm with company that does enjoy them. And I always do usually have a good time with one, but again, it's not, oh, I need to have that. It's just, oh, wow, this goes really good with this beer, or, oh, that's really different. It's from Cuba. Like, just different things like that.
Yeah, but I haven't bought a pack in like 3 months, so.
You just keep smoking them
for
your friends that show up. And they're like, oh, God.
Give me a
I get so mad at them because then they give them to you, but it's like they're already smoking them too, and the last time we went out with your friends, like, he literally just, like, blowed it on me, and I was like, no, and he was, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. I was like, no, I know you didn't mean to. I was like, that's why I'm not smacking the shit out of you. I mean, if you were a stranger, I probably would have, like,
if they were,
cut
like,
you in the
looking
fucking
at
throat.
You, and they went like this.
Oh, yeah. I'd have punched him right in the throat.
Then,
I know he was just dicking around and didn't notice it. But I just hate it because it gets hung in my hair. My hair just, like, absorbs everything around me.
It gets hung on everything. It
really does. But my hair, whatever I'm around, it's going to get. I smell the hookah in it. I smell the cigarettes in it. I go to a restaurant, and my hair is like, what, you know where I've been. Like, I could never, and I never would anyway, but like, I could never, like, just lie and sneak off somewhere, because if I came back, I could just sniff my head and be like, where you been?
Did you eat without me?
Did you eat without me?
I smell Charlie's on you. Just too much salad.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. There's a piece of lettuce in your hair. I knew it.
Oh, no. I was going to say, it's kind of hard to get it in your hair, but that's not true at all. I went to the B-Dubs, and I was going to meet some friends there, of course. You know, I get bailed on all the time, so I ate by my fucking self. But I wanted to watch all the foosball. And that's the best place to kind of see all the games at once. Typically, if it's my game, I want to go somewhere I can just see my game and hear it. Because Buffalo Wild Wings usually plays Tennessee over everything else. And they would not put my game on a big screen, even though there was like 15 different Tennessee games up and like 20 different Cowboy games. I'm like, my team's good too. Like, let's watch my team. But I could smell it. You can always kind of smell it in your hair. But I had a big just like a whole chip's worth of cheese in my hair. I was so sad.
Blue cheese?
No, queso.
Oh.
I was so mad because that could have been on my chip and then in my belly. But it was in my fucking hair. I was so damn mad. Because, like, it's not like when you get it on, you just wipe it off.
How long did it take for you to notice
No,
it?
when it happened. I would felt real bad. I would just been sitting there.
The waiter keeps coming back. Everything good? Keeps looking at the cheese in your
Are you sure? Yeah, I'm fine.
You need a napkin?
You sure?
Wet wipe? No, I'm all good.
But since I was in public, it's not easy just to wipe it off. Like, it's in your hair. It's not just like a smooth surface. So if I was at home, you know, like a wild animal, I'd have just stuck it in my mouth, you know. But I was in public, so I was having to, like, just try to scoop it out of my hair. It was so bad. It was that big old chunk. And my hair was all tacky and weird feeling.
You would have really, like, stuck it in your mouth and sucked the cheese off.
I've watched you eat shit off the fucking floor.
That's disgusting.
This is washed and clean.
When have you ever seen me eat anything off the floor? So what? I don't heat up my food.
I've seen you eat stuff off the floor. I've seen it. Chips, cookies, things like that.
5-second rule. It doesn't matter.
It's still on the floor.
It doesn't matter. It's just food. It's just like...
It's just cheese on my clean-ass hair that I washed.
But if it falls on the floor...
And it costs a lot of money when you go out.
Say if I drop a wing on the floor. Big fucking sausage stick of wing.
Yeah, it's going to have hair and everything in it.
Exactly. If I pick it up, I'm like, ooh, hair. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not going to eat that. But you're going to suck it right off your hair?
I feel like it's not like it's a dirty hair on the floor.
No, I wouldn't fucking eat it if it had hair all over it.
You can wash it off in the sink and
Hell no, you wash off all the goodness. What are you talking about?
You just dip it back in something else.
Maybe.
I don't know. Y'all are strange. I have seen y'all do weird things with food. But it's my hair. It's clean hair. Yeah, I didn't leave it off the top of my head. It's fine. I wouldn't have just gobbled my hair down and slurped it out. I would have just kind of trying to nibble it off there a little bit so it's not just all over the damn place. It was bad. It was a big, huge doll. I was like, oh man, can't believe I wasted that.
My stomach.
It makes me sad because that was
makes
cheese.
Me sick.
Makes me sad. That was a waste of cheese. Cheese is so good.
You're a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's seen y'all do terrible things. He's here when y'all are here by yourselves with y'all.
I've used him for a pillow a couple of times or two. So
you don't even like him. Leave him alone.
Sometimes I do stuff before
I'm gonna
I go
baby
to bed.
cam his ass. Have him sitting around. See what kind of shady shit y'all get into.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You'll see a lot of videos of me just walking around the nude.
I get that often when I knock on the door. Don't come in, we're naked. It's
no,
you might be.
I usually say, come on in, we're naked.
Oh yeah, come in, we're naked. Yeah, you might actually be is the problem. So when you're both here, sometimes it's okay, probably not both naked, but
it's
they
like a 50-50
might be.
Possibly, yeah.
Sorry, dude, you got to see all the terrible shit.
So what's next? What's next on the agenda? How much time do we got?
We got 5 minutes, so I wanted to discuss one of our previously favorites. I don't really get to go there much anymore. We just don't. I think we're trying to behave and be healthy. Taco Bell, we had discussed where they removed literally everything delicious off the menu.
Mm-hmm. What else did they remove?
Well, they didn't remove nothing else, but there is a petition for that one that Diego eats, the little pizza tacos.
Tostadas.
Yeah, they're signing a petition to get that thing put back on, and it already has over 100,000 signatures. People are like, "Give us that."
The potatoes.
Okay, that's my next thing. So they're a petition for that. It was 100,000 signatures, so they're really pushing to get that pizza taco whatever thing back on the menu. So I read that. I was like, oh well. I mean, you can do what you want to, but you can't force them, regardless of how many signatures you have, to put a food item back on the menu. And then besides, what about potatoes? Those are the best things ever. Potatoes are delicious. There's a guy in Missouri. Whenever he found out they were taking them off the menu, he went and bought up the last 3 they had. They were down to their last 3 of their existence in the freezer back there, and he took them home, and he has them. They may not have them anymore, but at the time, he took them home, and he froze them. They're in his freezer, and he's trying to sell them on eBay for $200 a piece.
I'm going to buy them.
You're going to buy them?
Yeah, I'm going to buy them.
Well, I'm just thinking, okay, you have them. They're rare. They're never going to happen again, but they don't taste that good that they cost $200. But especially now that you took them home and you froze them.
Yeah. Again.
They're already frozen before. You're not supposed to refreeze cooked food. So it's not like it's going to be good. It'd be more of a talisman kind of thing. It's like,
there's somebody out
got
there,
in the fridge.
Who will pay for it.
And eat it?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it.
Speaking of Taco Bell, if you download the app, the Taco
Just
Bell,
kidding, you do still go then, huh?
the Taco Bell Rewards app,
Mm-hmm.
I have been. I haven't, but I have. You should have a free taco today, I think, because the World Series is going on, and every single time someone steals a base in the World Series, you get a free Doritos Locos Tacos.
If you have the app.
If you have the Taco Bell Rewards app. Or I think even if you just fucking whatever, you can just go get a free taco. But hey.
How do they keep up with that so not someone just getting all the free tacos?
Well, no, I think you can just go there and get a free taco. But the Taco Bell Rewards app will tell you, if you don't watch the World Series.
Well, if you just keep coming through the drive-thru being like, I'm here for that free taco, and you just look back around, free taco?
Just go to all the
free
Taco
taco?
Bell. That's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, because I can see how they can maybe manage it at one home base. But if you're
got-
getting all the Taco Bells in town,
We got 3 here, right?
we got 3 here. So you
get
can just
3 tacos right there. Easy. It's 3, right?
Yeah, there's 3. One that's connected to the
one-
Pizza
yeah,
Hut, one
yeah,
that's
3.
by itself, and then one down here with the
That's 3
McDonald's.
tacos right there. Every single time someone steals a base.
You would just hit them up, hang out at the last one until the next base is hit, then grab it and then go back.
Take the mustache off Giraffe. Yes, I'm here for my free taco.
I'm here for my free taco. I have yet to get the taco. Or just be giraffe free. Go up to the drive-thru. You think they let?
I want my taco, senor.
You think they let him have one?
You think he's Hispanic?
No, man. He's giraffe. Giraffes aren't from Mexico.
Yeah, giraffes almost don't have fucking mustaches.
Yeah,
or
they
ear
do.
piercings.
They do. Look at them. They're about it. Anyhow, I think we managed a decent show. Joffrey was a great co-host.
Yeah.
I love having him around.
It was better than Diego.
So much better than Diego.
Kept quiet
That's all you could ask for.
the entire time.
That's all you could ask for.
Ugh, what a relief.
What a relief. So anyhow, that's Eating Chatter. Is what we do every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, I can remember times and dates and things that we do. Just not all the time, but some of the times. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit up the Facebook page for the Asylum Radio Show, as well as Hellfire Radio. Again, if you don't Facebook, we got the Instagram, we got the Twitters. Do the likes, do the shares, we need them all. I guess we'll be back here again next Tuesday.
Don't sound so excited. See you guys next week.